Inspire, motivate, challenge.
I mean, you mentioned a little bit, but can you talk about some of the biggest challenges, you've had, doing this?
Yeah, okay. I think I hardly say this, but one of the biggest challenges, real, specific challenge I've had, setting up Near Expiry was my issue with Google. And it was just a very interesting one. I think if I have time, I'll share it, and then I'll say how God was able to help me to, maneuver that. So what happened was that shortly after we set up Near Expiry, the app, which was meant to, like I said, bring sellers to buyers, pharmacists, non-pharmacists, non-pharmacists are there for the groceries and the rest. We have a section. In fact, if you look at the original architecture of Near Expiry, there's a section called drugs. There's a section called food and groceries, then others.
Yeah.
So that was the original thing. So, we started having uploads from pharmacists, particularly the ones we use for pilot. They were uploading things, and then people were actually, coming in to buy. However, about 2-3 months down the line, the app was locked down by Google. Yeah, and I just woke up that Sunday morning and found out that my app developer called me and said, "Oh, looks like someone uploaded alcohol." And there are countries that they don't do this.
Yeah.
If you get into the app world, you begin to see all those things written in fine prints. They make a lot of sense. So the guy said that, and I said, nobody uploaded alcohol. We checked, actually. We saw a shop in, I think in Egbuonye state that uploaded alcohol, beer.
Okay.
But it was actually removed immediately, by the app. So I wrote to them, and surprisingly, what we thought was the issue wasn't the issue. So they responded and said, well, we found out that you were advertising ethical drugs. And I said, well, good enough. That's another thing about people who are starting up things. You need to test whatever idea. People just wake up and start an idea and then go into scaling. We actually did the testing. We call it, that particular idea, call it an MVP, the minimum viable product. You need to test it and all those things. So we did that. So immediately they sent that mail. I said, well, this is a time to learn more about you people. So I replied them and I said, well, I do not, if you look at the nature of, or the design of the app, you will notice that we do not collect prescriptions. The idea wasn't to sell drugs to non-professionals. Yeah. The idea was to bring, in fact, it was meant to be, and it is still a B2B.
Okay.
So we're going to connect pharmacists to pharmacists to hospitals. And of course, in the hospitals, the assumption is that there are pharmacists working there. So we're connecting them, and it was a tough one. All right, obviously, I understand them. Their structure in the US is different from our own. You do not move around with ethical products without prescription. But I was able to explain to them that right here, I want to buy Augmentin for my retail pharmacy, and I need 20 packs of it. Am I going to get prescription for 20 packs to go and buy it? I'm a pharmacist. I have a license. So the question was, do you have everybody that is on your app, as in pharmacies, do you have their license to show that they are? And good enough, the whole registration, I captured all the licenses. So I had to send the spreadsheet to them. And for the first time, they wrote me a mail. Sometimes, just about a few days ago, I looked at the mail again and they said, you won the case. So because at that time, we had gotten over 500 downloads. Okay. So if we didn't win the case, they would lock that, and you need to do a ranging all over again and then start counting from 1. So they said, but you won the case. However, we advise that you slow down on uploading drugs until we change our policy. So, and what next I saw was that everything was, reinstated. And like I said, just a few days ago, I was looking at that again. I said, oh, so you won these guys. so they reinstated everything. So that was the very first hit that, like something you did the testing and everything, and then they were trying to, So what we did was we said, okay, we could actually do our short date drugs on our website. So we converted our landing page website to an e-commerce website. So you notice that pharmacists, doctors now go to www.Nearexpiry deals to go and do the shopping or whatever concerning drugs.
Okay.
And it's like a gatekeeper thing. It's actually, you know, restricted so that you can go there as a professional. You know.
So the app is now for
The app
consumers.
is now for consumers. The app is now for
general
groceries and the rest of them. Yeah.
Alright. So can you tell us step by step, you know, from ideation to MVP to what it is now? How did you, you know, go about starting this mobile app, you know, and your website business?
Okay. Yeah, like you said, you know, it comes from ideation. It was actually the story that you know, motivated us the idea that, okay, this idea, what next? What do we do? Do we just, typically people will think, okay, with this idea, okay, look for the guy that will do a mobile app for you. But we didn't do that. We needed to test the idea. We needed to test the MVP. And the testing, you know, is not so technical. How did we do that? First of all, we started by, you know, something very manual. Okay, we can help you sell off some of these items. There was no mobile app. All we needed to do is, send in your items that you think, just send us a picture on the phone.
Okay, you reached out to a few.
Yes, a few friends that had that have pharmacy, that have supermarkets. You know, just send us the picture of whatever it is. And at that time, we also involve a few importers, because truly they are the ones that they don't have physical outlet. They import these things, and then their intention is to distribute among but they won't do all. You know, so the ones that are left, sometimes they have a reverse, what do you call it, SOR arrangement with wholesalers. So the ones that are not going, they return to them. And when you return to them, what do? So they call us, okay, can we send this to you? Okay, send 10 packs. With that 10 packs, we do some basic, you know, basic thinking. For instance, we had a time somebody sent in tomato paste. At that time, that was close to go, about 6 months to go. And we knew that it wasn't nice to also send it to shops to sell. So what we did was, okay, who are the guys that use more of this? The hotels, the restaurants. So we contacted them. You buy this, okay, you use a lot of this, you know, do you know that you can actually get this, you know, 6 months to go, and they almost have the price, and we're able to sell it off. Another one, there was this this thing they use in it's like ketchup they use in doing this shawarma or something, mayonnaise, and someone had quite some. And we looked at those guys that, you know, have their cubicles doing shawarma and pizza and the rest of them. We spoke to them and they bought all of them. So I saw that there was, I mean, the value. There was a value creation there. There was something to sell. However, we could not, and we know we cannot sustain by using this arrangement to reach out to many. So that was at that point, we know, oh, we have tested this MVP, at least it's able to generate money. We needed to now scale up. And so at that time I started thinking of, like I said, are we going to now start bringing all these people in a WhatsApp group, the buyers? How many people will you bring in? No. So we thought of, okay, mobile app will be it. And I don't have knowledge of mobile app development, but again, it's the passion that you have for something that drives you. So we looked out for young chaps that can do that. And I got a guy, very smart guy, that was going to, you know, do that. And he helped develop the app. However, another thing that happened was that when he came, he thought I was going to do a regular e-commerce app, like the Jumia and whatever it is. And I said, no, I have an idea. The idea is this. This app is going to be in a way that it's going to show people the expiry date of the item or the best before date. It's also going to, the frequency of notification will be higher. And I take this opportunity to also say it. Most people call and say, once I downloaded the app, every minute of the day is notifying me. And I say, wait, we are not, with this app, you should understand that what the app is trying to do is to sell off those things before we are racing against time.
Yes.
So that's why you see the increased frequency of notification. And it's true, when you explain this, people get to understand that. But again, we also in updating also created an avenue where you can put it on silent. So it's been a journey of continuous improvement. And then on the side, while you're doing this, we also try to educate, because truly, that my last session with a particular television outfit, we were talking about the difference between best before date, expiry date, use by date. A lot of people don't know. So when they pick up something, just about a few days ago, I walked into a store to buy something for my kids, and I saw a woman who wanted to buy, I think it was a snack, and she looked at the date. I was just standing beside her. She looked at the date and said, it's going in December. But I can bet you that she was going to eat that thing even before she steps into her car.
Exactly.
So I couldn't hold back. I said, madam, but you're about to open it. So what does it mean? I mean, what does it matter whether it's going to expire in December when it's not even going to follow you to your house? I think what you should look at is the storage condition. Was it stored well? And you're in this particular pharmacy, and of course you can see that they are taking care of these products. So and as God will have it, she understood, and that was one convert for me. That people should begin to know that buying and shopping should be done smarter, and that's why you see near expiry. Sometimes you see near expiry is an attitude. You need to have that smart attitude. That today, before my wife goes to the supermarket to buy groceries, she will go to near expiry. I have 4 kids. If you bring a tin of milk and they're on holiday, it will finish in 4 days.
True.
If they go to school, it will finish in 7 days. So why will I walk into a supermarket and I see short date milk 2 months to go and it's going for 1,000, and I see the one they say is long date, which is like March next year, is going for 3,000. Why will I buy that one when I know that a tin of that milk will last 4 days? I'd rather buy 3,000 than buy 3 of these 9,000. So my wife has adopted the attitude, and I keep telling her this is an attitude, you must adopt it. And Buhari has also, the country, forget Buhari, the country has also helped. The country has also helped the economy so well that you really need to be forced to think about this. That's the way we've been able to run near expiry to this point.
Okay, fantastic idea. So basically, you need to test the idea out even before you meet a developer to develop whatever app. You need to test it. You need to find out if it's feasible.
Yes.
Then when you have some kind of pilot test results.
So in testing, sorry to add this. So in testing, the real thing about testing is that I've come to realize that there's a difference between ability to pay and willingness to pay. So you can have a fantastic idea, by the time I bring it up, my wife will say, this is wonderful. Okay, it's just 3,000. I can't. And everybody's saying, I can't. That's it. So it's either you're actually in the wrong bucket, or it's something that is good, but people are not willing. It's a premature idea. People are not willing. So when you're testing, like people say, when we're testing MVPs, I keep saying this, it's not just about this is a wonderful idea. You must be able to show that this idea is in that position to elicit money, even if it's 1 kobo. But at least this is an idea that somebody is willing to part with money for. That's the real testing. I'm not saying you should at the testing phase, make millions. No. For us, by the time we did that tomato did the mayonnaise stuff and a few other things, we knew that, people are really conscious of what they spend. People are now beginning to think that why should I spend 30,000 on groceries for my household when I can actually spend 15,000? So we knew there was a market. We knew there was something we were going to solve. We didn't just say, of course, I know that if I bring this phone, people will buy. No, 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 no. You need to go and see.
Yeah.
You know, are they willing? Are they willing? Are they able? You know, to do that. So that's what I wanted to add.
Yeah, thanks. So I mean, testing the idea, basically testing the willingness of people to exchange value.
Yes.
For whatever service or good you're selling, before you now even think about, okay, yes, I now want to leverage technology, you know, reaching out to a mobile app developer and so on and so forth. And then, you know, you start small and you expand from there. So I think, I mean, that's a very, very eye-opening lesson, and I think it's something that anybody who has an idea, a very excellent idea like this, needs to think about. So I mean, my final question would be, like, if there's a young person now, a young professional, you know, if you think about yourself when you were a bit younger, a few years ago, like, what kind of advice would you give somebody who is trying to go into, you know, something similar, maybe like a mobile app business? What kind of advice would you give the person?
Okay. Well, it may not necessarily be, of course, I've had the opportunity to advise people who are not even younger. It may not necessarily be a young person, but for somebody who is trying to go into an idea that you so believe in, I only have just one advice. There's nothing like overnight success. You know, I always, you know, share this in the book by Greg Bell, Water the Bamboo. And in that book, he was able to establish that, you see this bamboo tree, this Chinese bamboo tree, you know, it's a very small seed. You drop it inside the ground. Now listen to this. You water the bamboo every day. Every day, they consistently water the bamboo. You won't see anything. Now, for 5 years, by the 5th year, the bamboo tree comes out from the ground.
Wow.
And the question is, did it take actually 3 to 5 years for this to happen? But then, what is even important is that you've been able to establish that there is a lot of patience, there's a lot of, you know, consistency that is needed for you to be able to achieve this particular feat. Now, beyond that, in this same book, you will see that another thing is that once the plant comes out from the ground, we're told that this particular tree grows 90 feet in 60 days. 90 feet in 60 days. So that's amazing. You know, that's like 1.5 feet a day. You know, if you are, in fact,
5 years,
after 5 years, and it comes out and then it grows like that. And people have said that if you even put your ear close to it, it will be like you're hearing the growth, bam, bam. But the truth is that the farmer was, you know, patient, that was persistent, that was consistency, that was focus. So I really say, for me, when I started Near Expiry, I've seen people come, this is a wonderful idea, Obi, just be there, give it 2 to 3 years. I say, sorry, sir, I'm giving it 10 years. You know, I just don't want that, you know, pressure. I'm giving it 10 years because I know where we're going. I think we're in a cold market. Till tomorrow, we did an advert where somebody, you know, one of the comedians did an advert for us. He brought in Ingenuity and he was talking to somebody and he said, this app will tell you when, you know, things are about to expire. Obviously, that's not what the app does.
Yeah.
But he tried to tell the guy that even your life, it will tell you when you want to expire. You know, and he created the fun there. So it's like saying things will always, you know, things will always expire. It's a chain. It's a market that is open, and you're continuously going to have that. You know, so we're not in a hurry, but we know where we're going to. So my advice would be to people who want to delve into this: be sure, be consistent, believe in yourself, keep going, you know, and then you get there.